New flavor, Prime Energy Dream Pop, the flavor that'll make you cream in your dream.
Flavor that'll make you cream in your dream.
Back in 2023, Prime was everywhere. Over $1.2 billion in sales, shelves wiped clean, parents screaming in supermarket aisles just to grab a bottle, UFC, WWE, Barcelona sponsorships, Logan Paul and KSI looked like they'd created the next Gatorade overnight. But just a couple years later, boom, sales have cratered over 90%. Bottles are rotting in discount bins for less than $1, and their billion-dollar dream drink is now labeled a flop, dragged down by scandals, lawsuits, health freakouts, and their own greed. Prime's launch in January 2022 was pure chaos. Two former boxing rivals teaming up to drop a hydration drink, the internet lost it. Logan's announcement video racked up 8 million views in a flash. Kids were lining up at 5 a.m., waiting outside corner stores like it was Black Friday. Resellers were flipping bottles for hundreds, even $1,000. Prime was untouchable, the king of sports drinks. And in the UK, madness. Every restock sold out in minutes, shops hiring security guards, and grown adults straight up wrestling 12-year-olds for the last blue raspberry. By the end of year one, Prime had already pulled in $250 million. Just a year later, it exploded to a staggering $1.2 billion, cementing its place as one of the fastest growing drinks in history. This wasn't just another YouTuber gimmick.
Really fun game that makes you money.
A fun game that earns you money. How much did you guys make from CryptoZoo?
I lost around $50,000 in CryptoZoo.
I lost $40,000.
And I lost around $15,000 US.
I lost $25,000.
$120,000.
Or some random energy drink. It was the biggest creator brand the world had ever seen, but the rise was so meteoric that nobody noticed the cracks spreading underneath. Right at the peak, Logan's Pets came crashing back like a jump scare. Coffee dropped a jaw-dropping 3-part investigation exposing CryptoZoo, Logan's failed NFT project that swiped millions from investors and never delivered a working product. Scandal was knocking on the door, and Prime's glittering empire was starting to show serious cracks. The investigation blew the lid off everything. Missing developers, shady middlemen, fans losing tens of thousands of dollars. It was a full-blown circus. Logan had spent years trying to patch up his image after the Japan Forest fiasco, and in just 1 month,
calling on the FDA to investigate the energy drink Prime, which he says is being marketed to children and contains the caffeine equivalent of 6 cans.
It all went up in smoke, and instead of owning up, he went nuclear, suing CoffeeZilla because nothing screams innocent like hiring 5 lawyers to try and shut down a YouTuber. Even when the CryptoZoo lawsuit eventually got tossed, the damage was done. Parents weren't scanning hydration labels anymore. They were frantically Googling, who is this Logan Paul guy? And is he a scammer? Not exactly the vibe you want when your drink is aimed at kids. Just when Logan thought he was the only storm hitting Prime, the brand got slammed by someone even more dangerous, ready to rip the hype apart. By July 2023, the Prime nightmare hit a whole new level. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer publicly demanded an FDA investigation into Prime Energy for packing a jaw-dropping 250 milligrams of caffeine per can while marketing it to minors. To put it in perspective, Coca-Cola has 34 milligrams, Red Bull has 80 milligrams, and Prime Energy, a staggering 250 milligrams, more than triple Coke and over double Red Bull. And yet their commercials were packed with kids, influencers, and gamers.
Lunchly versus Lunchables.
With Lunchly, you get double the amount of liquid.
Prime has no sugar added, more electrolytes, and more B vitamins.
Crunch Bar.
Boo.
Feastables Crunch
Yeah!
Bar. Our pizza uses real cheese. Theirs, as it says on their box, is mozzarella pasteurized prepared cheese product. They can't even call it real cheese. We're also 30 less calories, 3 less grams of fat, and 8 less grams of sugar.
Basically everyone except actual adults. Schumer called them out for misleading health claims, influencer-driven marketing aimed at children, hiding dangerous caffeine levels, and skipping proper warnings. Panic spread fast. Parents flipped, teachers freaked out, schools started banning Prime like it was illegal contraband, and even the non-caffeinated flavors weren't safe from the fallout. Nutritionists weren't holding back. Prime Hydration was being marketed like some elite sports drink for pro athletes, but check the actual formula. Basically coconut water with a marketing glow-up. 1 sip, and it hit your taste buds like swallowing perfume? What even is that? The drink that once sold for $100 was suddenly struggling to move for just $2. Once the health concerns hit mainstream news, schools went full lockdown on Prime. Australian schools banned it. British schools banned it. Even schools in the US were cracking down. Teachers didn't want kids showing up to math class jittery and shaking from 200 milligrams of caffeine like they just wrestled a demon in the bathroom. Prime went from the cool drink to the one you could get suspended for bringing. In a desperate bid to save face, Logan and KSI teamed up with Mr. Beast to launch Lunchly, a Lunchables-style competitor for kids, hoping to wash away the Prime chaos. The Lunchly kits landed with a thud: tiny, underpowered meals, a Feastables chocolate bar, and a Prime drink.
Food component. However, Dr. Mike does give Lunchly some wins.
What I was able to conclude, Lunchly has less sugar and therefore less calories, slightly less sodium and saturated fat, does use real cheese.
However, the good doctor went on to compare Lunchly's nutritional values to the guidelines set forward by the USDA.
Less than 10% of calories should come from saturated fat. Less than 10% of calories should come from added sugars.
So then, is it healthier or not? Well, the problem is, it doesn't matter, as the box is officially classed as a UPF, which are linked to cancer and obesity.
And because they fall into the category of ultra-processed food,
basically, it was pure brand synergy, and the backlash hit instantly. Dan TDM slammed them on Twitter, accusing Logan and KSI of straight up exploiting kids for cash, and his post went viral within hours. Then Dr. Mike dropped a bomb, breaking down that each Lunchly meal had just 230 calories, way below the 625 calories a typical kid's lunch needs. To actually get enough energy, a kid would have to scarf down 3 Lunchly kits, but doing that would flood them with sodium and turn a fun lunch into a health nightmare. And then Rosanna Pansino took it to a whole new level. She opened a Lunchly kit on camera, and the food was covered in mold. They were literally shipping moldy lunches to kids. This was supposed to be Logan and KSI's big redemption move, proof they were serious businessmen. But instead, it exploded into one of the worst PR disasters of the year. The timing couldn't have been worse. Prime was already losing hype. Kids have short attention spans and were moving on anyway. And now Lunchly completely tanked too. Suddenly, Logan, KSI, and their team looked like total clowns, sitting on not one, but 2 massive failures. While the internet laughed and the headlines tore them apart. By 2024, things had gone from bad PR to call a lawyer now level. A class action lawsuit dropped a bombshell. Prime's grape flavor allegedly contained over 3 times the recommended lifetime limit of forever chemicals, the stuff linked to serious long-term health risks. The outrage was instant. Parents freaked, stores yanked stock, and the headlines went absolutely wild. Sales crashes were merciless. UK numbers plunged 70% year over year, revenue tanked from $12 million to $3.3 million, and overall profits fell a staggering 92%. In the US, sales dropped 40% in just the first half of 2024. By 2025, Prime wasn't selling out. It was being cleared out. Stores were selling bottles for under $1, and dollar stores had them in the please take me section. It was almost tragic, because let's be real, not that many people actually enjoyed drinking Prime in the first place. Honestly, most kids weren't even drinking Prime. They were buying it because everyone else had it. It was pure manufactured hype, and you know how kids are. They'll chase whatever's trending. But the second the trend dies, so does your product. Think back to fidget spinners in 2015. They were everywhere. The lawsuit sent shockwaves through the industry, and social media exploded with memes roasting Prime. Parents weren't just worried, they were outraged. Headlines screamed about a sports drink targeting kids while stepping all over Olympic trademarks. Retailers started pulling stock preemptively, fearing their own liability, and even influencers who had hyped the brand went radio silent. Prime's image was shredded, from a must-have cultural craze to a cautionary tale about greed, hype, and careless business practices. Every celebrity collab, every viral campaign suddenly looked like a misstep stacked on top of a mountain of failed ventures. But who's buying fidget spinners in 2025? And if you thought Logan Paul's crypto disaster was wild, KSI's XCAD scandal takes it to a whole new level. CoffeeZilla dropped a scorching investigation exposing KSI's pump and dump. The receipts were crystal clear. KSI hyped the coin, told fans he was holding, and then immediately dumped $850,000 worth. Right after tweeting about how excited he was for XKED, his wallet started unloading coins like the IRS was on his tail. Fans were furious, feeling completely betrayed, and the hype surrounding KSI and Prime took another brutal hit. KSI's good guy image vanished overnight. Suddenly, the founders of Prime looked like a pair of crypto scammers, selling a children's drink while cashing in on multi-billion-dollar brand deals. It didn't matter that the scams weren't directly linked to Prime, public trust was gone, and Logan and KSI had burned every bridge. But the nightmare didn't stop there. Things got even uglier. More lawsuits started piling up, this time from inside their own supply chain. In late 2024, one of Prime's manufacturing partners filed a lawsuit accusing the company of unpaid bills, misleading practices, and failing to meet purchase commitments. Refresco, one of the world's largest beverage bottlers, went after Prime's parent company for roughly $68 million, claiming they bailed on a massive 3-year bottling deal as soon as the hype dried up. Prime wasn't just in trouble, it was unraveling at every corner. According to the lawsuit, Refresco claimed that Prime promised to buy at least 18.5 million cases a year and pushed them to invest in special lines and equipment for Prime's bizarre custom bottles. Then once the pressure hit, Prime allegedly bailed. In plain terms, they told Refresco, "Gear up, we're huge!" And when sales tanked, they vanished, leaving the bottlers stuck with millions in sunk costs and unsold inventory. And Refresco wasn't alone. Reports later showed other vendors and suppliers were also filing lawsuits or chasing unpaid bills as Prime's growth stalled and cash flow tightened. But the real public humiliation, that came straight from the Olympics. By July 2024, Prime's problems hit the Olympic stage. Literally, the U.S. Olympic and Paralympic Committee sued Prime Hydration for trademark infringement, claiming the company had slapped protected terms like Olympic, Olympian, Team USA, and going for gold on a Kevin Durant collab flavor and online promos without permission. Suddenly, what was supposed to be a high-profile marketing win turned into a massive legal headache, adding another layer of embarrassment to a brand already crumbling under scandals and lawsuits. The real problem? Coca-Cola already pays millions to be the exclusive Olympic beverage sponsor. The lawsuit basically claimed Prime was trying to ride the Olympics wave, making it look like they were an official Team USA drink when they weren't, confusing customers, stepping on Coke's toes, and leeching off Olympic branding for free. By the end, Prime didn't just collapse because the hype died. That played a part, but because Logan Paul and KSI literally sabotaged their own brand. They could have built a long-term empire, but instead, they misled customers, targeted kids with unsafe products, faced government investigations, shipped moldy lunches, got exposed for multiple crypto scams, and refused to take any accountability. Prime could have been a decade-long success story. Instead, it became the fastest creator downfall of all time. A $1 million empire destroyed by the very people who built it. Logan and KSI didn't just ruin Prime. They proved you can't build a global brand on hype, scandals, and lies, because eventually, everything collapses. If you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more wild stories like this.